YouTube, welcome back to a brand new Pokemon Unite video here on the Neebles for the Win channel. And today we're going to be covering the brand new Pokemon just dropped today, Gardevoir. As you can see right here, I didn't really have any sort of like psychic theme background, so I put space up behind me. Like, I know it's not the Oxys or anything, but I mean, you know. Today, since she's a brand new character, our little guide is going to be quite a little bit different. It's not going to be a VOD breakdown this time, though I may do one further down the line once she does become more of a mainstay in the Pokemon Unite, game. But since she's so new, basically what we're doing is going over her moves, her best move set, the proper way to use some of her moves, because some of them kind of have a skill gap, like learning curve to them. So we're going to go over her best moves, how to use them, best items, best spell. We're also going to go over some of her stats as well, her level 15 stats. The damages that she can put out with and without X attack. With items, the math is a little bit tricky because I throw on some items and, doing the math, you should get one result, but you get a different result from the practice arena. So not doing any of that, just base and X attack damage levels as well as her HP and all that. And once we go over all of that, I mean, that's basically just going to be it. There's going to be some gameplay of me using her for the first time in the background. The game was pretty bad. We ended up winning, and I feel like I did some pretty cool things with Gardevoir. It's just my very first game. It wasn't me doing bad, it was my team. Scapegoating my team isn't the best, but what are you gonna do? Let's go ahead and hop right into it. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I already have the information for this character pulled up here, so let's go ahead and get into it. First move I take, as you can see, is Confusion. Basically just attack straight in the designated area. Your second move slot is Teleport, which has the user warp to the designated area, increasing the damage dealt by one basic attack after warping. With this move, I feel like nobody in their right mind is going to run a eject button on this character, so that's why I think the best spell for Gardevoir is X attack, just to increase the amount of damage you can do. Already tied for strongest character in the game. Having a mandatory X attack just makes it all the more better. The first ability that levels up or gets upgraded is your second slot, which is your Teleport. At level 6, you have the choice between Psyshock and Future Sight. Psyshock attacks a designated location 3 times. The move's cooldown is reduced each time one of them hits an enemy, and upgraded at level 12. It increases the damage dealt each time one of its attacks hits, which makes the move all around just insane. I would always take this one over Future Sight. Future Sight sets a delayed explosion. When the explosion hits an enemy, it reduces this move's cooldown. At level 12, it completely resets the move's cooldown when the explosion hits an enemy, which is super cool. I feel like Psyshock, if you're good with the move, which is pretty easy to be good with the move, you should be able to do more damage with it. Though the instant cooldowns on Future Sight, if you manage to get super good at predicting your enemy and can land constant Future Sights, doing like thousands and thousands of damage at a time, I would definitely recommend taking that instead. But for right now, I think Psyshock is the clear winner in the strongest category of move for the second slot. At level 8, you get to upgrade your Confusion. You can turn it into either Psychic or Moonblast. Currently, I think Moonblast is the strongest, but this character did just come out. So let's go ahead and go over those 2 moves as well. Psychic, after hitting an enemy or traveling its maximum distance, it deals a DOT or damage over time to enemies in the area of effect, and it decreases their movement speed for a short time. At level 14, it has a reduced cooldown. And Moonblast, it has the user attack while moving back to create distance. It deals damage to enemies in a cone and leaves the enemy closest to the user unable to act. So you get CC, you get a good little source of movement because you have one of the lowest endurances in the game. You are quite squishy playing this character. So having CC and, some sort of a dash, and also when it's leveled up, a shield all in one move, that makes Moonblast the clear winner in this slot for sure. So my recommended moveset for Gardevoir is going to be Moonblast Psyshock or Psyshock Moonblast, since you get Psyshock first. And then the ultimate is really cool as well, Fairy Singularity. This doesn't seem to have had any changes since the Canadian beta. Warp space in the designated area, drawing in enemies to the center. It shoves and deals damage to enemies the instant the warped space disappears. So basically, it's a giant AoE where you can suck people in, and this move combos greatly with all your other moves. If you run Psyshock or Future Sight, you drop your ultimate, and then either of those moves inside of your ultimate, you're going to do massive damage. And then in order to escape, you can just Moonblast out of there. You make some room, get a shield, and you can even stun a Pokemon that you hit. So all in all, an insane kit. A lot of damage, but you do need to be careful because Gardevoir is quite squishy. As you can see on screen right now, I do have the level 15 stats for its HP, defense, and special defense. And with an HP stat of only 6,320, she is a little bit beefier than some Pokemon, but not too beefy. And then the defenses, they're not the best either. But as you saw, whenever I was going over the moves, I had their damages from both base and X attack buffed on screen. And if you do a full combo, like say you pop an X attack and then you Unite move and then you Psyshock, you're going to be doing 8,500 damage if you hit all 3 Psyshocks. That is strong enough to kill now 17 out of the 21 Pokemon in game. I'll put on screen now the stats of all level 15 Pokemon. There's only 4 Pokemon that have more than that much health in base. Obviously, items do come into play, so it could end up being more depending on the items certain Pokemon are running. But that sort of combo is lethal, and it definitely, makes sense why Gardevoir has the highest, or tied for the highest attack stat in the game, along with Venusaur and Pikachu. Definitely a big time threat for sure. Another amazing thing about Gardevoir is the Gardevoir's passive. It's called Synchronized, and when an enemy inflicts decreased movement speed or a damage over time condition on the Pokemon, you basically send it right back at them and deal it to them as well. So we went over this in the guide and the Ishi OP video from yesterday, but there is, I don't remember the exact number. There is a ton of Pokemon that can and will either slow your movement speed or provide a damage over time effect on you, whether it be a burn, whether it be, Eldegoss slowing your speed, Venusaur slowing your speed. There's all sorts of Pokemon that this works on, which is insane. And then the boosted attack, it decreases a Pokemon's special defense, and it does it in an area of effect. Like, this Pokemon could easily probably team wipe a team, as long as there's no big beefy tanks, which in lower elos and in norms, like a game I'm playing right now on screen, there's, not ever a perfect team comp. So if there's no tanks, you get a whole team in your ultimate, pop your X attack, drop your ultimate while you have a boosted attack ready. Everyone gets sucked in. You throw a boosted attack to decrease their special defenses, drop a Psyshock, and everyone's dead. And if there's someone that lives with a little bit of HP, you can just Moonblast up one back up from them, stun them, so your team can finish them off, and you get a shield just in case they're like one of those real damage-centric speedsters, like a Gengar or something like that. So yeah, this character in the right situation can cause mayhem, and I'm actually very excited that Gardevoir is now in the game. I did go ahead and purchase her. She was only 8k coin. I don't know how often you're going to run into Gardevoir currently. I've only played one game, and I was the one that played him, and there wasn't a mirror matchup on the other side of the field, so that's good. A lot of people probably spent their coins on a bunch of other Pokemon, so they might not have the 8k to buy her, but if they do, I definitely recommend watching out, because it doesn't take too much to master her Psyshock. Basically, I'll put it on screen now on how to use it. You place it, and then where you placed it relative to where you were when you placed it, it follows you around. There's plenty of instances showing this in the gameplay in the background as well, but I'm going to overlay like a specific footage of me using it. It follows you around relative to where your Gardevoir is located on the screen based on where you placed it. And if you can master that, just moving around with the enemy Pokemon, getting all 3 of those to hit, it's probably going to pay off a lot more than Future Sight. But again, at max level, if you can chain 3 Future Sights back to back to back, you'll be doing like almost 9k damage. You can probably nuke anyone in the game with 3 back to back to back Future Sights, but they're a lot harder to hit because they are a delayed move. People can move out of the way, especially in higher elos. So I definitely think Psyshock is the safer and better move to take by far. And she's great for taking Zapdos. Her mobility seems a little low, but she seems pretty decent at kiting, unless you're getting chased down, obviously. But yeah, I honestly think Gardevoir is a very, very strong Pokemon. If you haven't already, I highly recommend you get her or saving up AO coins to get her. Honestly, if we were doing the tier list now, me and the boys, I would probably put her high A, low S tier, right up there with Cinderace. Just because she's not as fast and as kitey as a Cinderace, but the damage output is tremendous. Absolutely insane. So I highly vouch for Gardevoir for sure. That's going to be it for me. Let me know if you learned anything new about Gardevoir today. Let me know if you're excited to play her. If you've already played her, what are your favorite items to run? Your favorite spell, your preferred moveset? I feel like a lot of people are going to say Psyshock and Moonblast. Item wise, I feel like the best item set, since I haven't really said this yet, it's probably going to be your Wise goggles into Energy Amplifier, and then possibly even maybe a Buddy Shield or a Shell Bell, just for the added sustain, because your endurance is so low, you are so squishy. Energy Amplifier just to get out more damage when you ult, to drop your Psyshock in there or your Future Sight in there. And then, you know, obviously Wise Specs to increase your overall special attack. So yeah, Gardevoir's sick. I love her. I'm glad she's in the game. Can't wait for Blastoise and whatever Pokemon is next. And this has been your boy Noobs for the win. Until tomorrow, I'll see you later. Peace out.